Hey everyone, in today's video we're making some gluten-free and vegan Thanksgiving side dishes. I'm also going to show you how to make a delicious gravy that is packed with flavor and it's very quick and easy to make. We've got a creamy green bean casserole and these cute little individual stuffed pumpkins with a gluten-free stuffing. I hope you enjoy and let's get started. First up, we're going to make some individually roasted pumpkins and they're going to be stuffed with a gluten-free stuffing. This has all of the flavors and herby goodness of Thanksgiving dinner all in one cute little pumpkin. So we're going to start with some mini pumpkins. You can find these in the produce section of the grocery store, and if you can't find this, just use an acorn squash. Then you're gonna cut it open, remove the seeds, and season with olive oil, salt, pepper, and a little bit of dried sage. You want to use your fingers to distribute the seasonings all throughout the inside and the rim of both the top and the bottom of the pumpkin. Then place the pumpkins cut side down on a preheated pan. I just put the pan in the oven, turn the oven on, and wait till it comes to temperature. The pan will be nice and hot, and that creates a great little kind of sizzle and sear on the pumpkin that adds a lot of flavor. While the pumpkins are roasting, I'll go ahead and make the gluten-free stuffing by crumbling some tempeh into a pan, adding water, and then just cover and let that steam until the water is absorbed. Then you're going to go ahead and add some gluten-free tamari, smoked paprika, smoked is key, and some maple syrup. And then I just use my wooden spoon to kind of break this up into small pieces. Then I will set that aside and go ahead and saute some onions, carrots, and celery in vegan butter. You want to cook this down for about 10 minutes on medium heat. Low and slow is key for flavor here. Add garlic, rosemary, and white wine and simmer for 5 minutes. And then to assemble the stuffing, we're just going to take some cooked white rice, add the veggies, add the tempeh, a handful of pecans, a handful of cranberries, and tie it all together with this gluten-free and vegan chicken broth. You can also use veggie broth if you like. And this is a great standalone side dish that you can bake in a casserole dish until it is nice and crispy on top. I absolutely love it that way, but I really like to put it inside of the pumpkins, both the base and the tops, and bake just until kind of lightly browned and set on top. This is really delicious because you've got a nice texture from the chewy cranberries and the crunchy pecans. You've got the garlic and the rosemary with the tender pumpkin. It is so delicious, and everyone gets their own little pumpkin. Next, we're gonna make a gluten-free gravy, and I recently developed this recipe, and I think, as much as I love my 15-minute vegan gravy, I think I like this one better. The spices are just a little bit more elevated, and there's a hint of kick at the end, which I think really lifts it, and it's totally gluten-free. So to make this gluten-free gravy, we're gonna start by making a roux. So in a large saute pan, I'm gonna take some vegan butter and sprinkle in gluten-free flour. This is Bob's Red Mill 1-to-1. Then I'm going to add my spices. I've got black pepper, onion powder, and cayenne, as well as poultry seasoning. Now this is a mix of sage, thyme, and onion. I love poultry seasoning. I recommend stocking up on it because it's good in so many dishes, but if you don't have that, ground sage will do. Then go ahead and cook the roux until it's nice and thick and gradually stream in your vegan chicken broth or veggie broth. You want to do this very gradually because if you add it all at once, the flour is going to be overwhelmed and you won't be able to, it won't thicken basically. So once you stream it in gradually, whisking as you go, you can finish by adding a little gluten-free tamari and a sprig of rosemary. Simmer on medium-low for 10 minutes, whisking occasionally, and you will have this delicious peppery gravy that is completely gluten-free. If you're not gluten-free and you still want to make this recipe, you can just use regular all-purpose flour. The only flours I wouldn't use here is I wouldn't use something like an almond flour or a coconut flour. You want something that has nice starchiness to it because that's what helps to thicken the gravy and make it really nice and smooth. I actually went into some of the food science of how starches naturally thicken sauces like gravies in this video where I made a vegan version of Norwegian meatballs. So if you want to learn more about that, I will link it in the description box below. I've really been loving tall tapered candles, especially around the holidays and on a big holiday table like a Thanksgiving table. I think it looks really beautiful, but if you also love tapered candles, you've probably encountered the drips and the little bits of candle wax that you get all over the table or all over the counter. I actually have some candle wax on the counter right now, and I'm going to show you how to get it off in a really easy way because if you're anything like me, this is going to be a very helpful bit of information for the holidays. I was complaining to a friend of mine that there was wax all over my counter and they told me about this trick. The first step is to actually let the wax cool completely. Don't try to remove it right away when it's still warm. At this point, once it's cool, you can use a wooden spoon to gently scrape off any excess and you'll just be left with a thin layer of residue. But if you've ever tried to wipe off that waxy residue with a cleaner and a cloth, it just doesn't come off. So actually using a blow dryer is step 2 because this actually just remelts the waxy residue so that you can
easily wipe it off. And I like to use a textured microfiber cloth because it's gentle, but it helps to lift that melted wax that the blow dryer is lifting off of the counter. And one thing I noticed is that it really helps to kind of hover in a small area. Don't try to do the whole surface at once. Just really focus on one spot at a time, wiping as you go, and that waxy residue is going to come right off.
After that, I'll just go ahead and remove any residue with an all-purpose cleaner, wipe that down, and you're good to go. And this has saved so many a messy tabletop and countertop for me over the holidays, so I thought I would share it with you. I also teamed up with Blue Land to bring you this video because this is the all-purpose cleaner that I keep right on my sink, right next to my hand soap and my sponges. It just sits there all the time because I use it every single night as part of my evening cleanup routine. It smells really good, and I like that it helps me to reduce waste. There's so much waste, especially around the holidays, and this is one thing that I can do to really prevent waste when it comes to having to buy so many cleaning products and bottles of cleaner. You keep this forever bottle, you add the Blue Land tablet, and then you add your own water. So many cleaning products, like a multi-purpose cleaner, is 90% water anyway. So this just allows you to add your Blue Land tablet and add your own water and keep the bottle, so you don't have to keep repurchasing bottle after bottle. And right now they have this really cool holiday hand soap gift set that's inspired by a box of chocolates. It has 12 of the Blue Land holiday hand soap tablets, each with a unique scent. My favorite is Glacier, but I also really like Joshua Tree, and Evergreen is really nice, especially for the winter months. And all of Blue Land products are sourced with ingredients that are made without parabens, phosphates, ammonia, VOC, chlorine, bleach. And the tablets and the packaging are both recyclable and compostable, so they really thought of everything here, and I think this would make such a good holiday gift. So I wanted to let you know that Blue Land is offering my viewers 30% off. I think this stuff is amazing. It cleans really well, it smells good, it's vegan friendly, so if you want to check it out, make sure you click the link in the description box below, and let's move on to the next recipe. Last but not least, we're gonna make a vegan and gluten-free green bean casserole. This one is really rich and creamy, and it has a crispy topping that gets golden brown in the oven, and it is so delicious.
You guys know I love my nonstick cookware, but when I'm browning mushrooms, I really recommend using a stainless steel saute pan. I learned this trick in a restaurant, and it makes such a difference for the flavor and the texture. You want to put the mushrooms in without any oil or seasoning, let them cook undisturbed for 5 minutes, then add your oil, salt, and onions, cook for another 5 minutes, and then add your garlic. Cook for another minute, and then add your plant milk. I add most of the plant milk to the pan, but I add some of it to a small bowl along with the cornstarch, and I dissolve the cornstarch into that and then combine it all together. This is a simple thing you can do to prevent lumps. Then I'm going to add flavor and richness with some nutritional yeast, onion powder, and here it is again, that vegan gluten-free chicken broth. I'm going to crumble the bouillon cube right into the sauce and then add a little bit of cayenne pepper. Then I'm going to go ahead and simmer that for 10 minutes to let it thicken, and we'll assemble the green bean casserole by placing our thawed frozen green beans in a 9x13 casserole dish. Add your mushroom sauce, and then this is the best part. I take gluten-free breadcrumbs and vegan butter, and I mix them all together, then crumble this on top. And I will teach you how to make gluten-free breadcrumbs from bread if you can't find them in the store, in the description box below. It's super easy. Then you're gonna bake until it is nice and golden brown and crispy, and there's just something about the rich, creamy mushroom sauce and the crispy, buttery breadcrumbs on top that just give the green beans and the mushrooms so much flavor. This is so delicious, and I really hope you enjoy it.
I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Share with someone in your life who may be gluten-free, maybe they have food allergies, maybe they are struggling with what to make for Thanksgiving this year. Share the link with them if you think they might find it helpful, and I hope you enjoy these recipes. They're all in the description box below, and that's also where you'll find the link to try Blue Land. So I hope you guys enjoy, and I will see you in a video very soon. Bye.